We are back for another episode of Building the Nantahala Retreat, and we've been in Austin for a week doing some filming, but we're back. But our subs have been here working, doing the plumbing, wiring, HVAC, shingles. So today, what we're gonna do is check all that stuff out. We'll show you what we do there. And then we're gonna frame a fireplace. What else are we doing?
We have a lot of blocking to do. For example, handrail blocking around the stairway, some toilet paper holder blocking, maybe some kitchen cabinet blocking.
Oh, we gotta do that.
We have some boxing in to do around some plumbing and ductwork.
Okay, we'll cut you off there. A quick update moment here. Arlo just had hip replacement surgery, so he's not here. Ray is here, but ruh-roh.
Not fully.
Yeah, so Ray was caulking right there, and we had one bucket scaffold, and what happened, Ray?
I decided I was going to jump off of it.
Yeah, instead of climb down the little
Yeah.
two-step ladder. So anyway, that fractured his heel. Didn't even fall down, didn't even twist his ankle, but his heel got fractured. So just a lesson there. Hey, climb down the ladder. He was just trying to save a few seconds, actually. Yeah. Save some time, and it got him. So that's a quick update, and let's get to it.
Hey, why don't you talk about the guy that does show up? Ray's hurt, Arlo's hurt. What do I get? Nothing.
First order of business, we're gonna put these anchor bolts in the holes that I drilled a long time ago. And these are a Simpson strong tie, screw in, and we need a giant drill. Where's it at? This is our automotive impact wrench, I'd call it. It's corded, it's got lots of power. That's why we gave it to Jason. It'll actually drive these in, and it'll do it fast. It's sort of like when you get your tires changed, like in a NASCAR race. Just like that, bud. Pop those in.
He definitely has watched more NASCAR than you have.
Yeah.
For sure.
Number two, we're gonna box this in. This stuff is run below the ceiling in this bedroom. And so there was no other place for this to go. We're gonna box this in, make a little chase after the fact.
Yeah, this is really common when you are not using floor trusses, which
We're not.
we're not. So
In many cases, you can run ductwork like this through the webbing of trusses and you save yourself some boxing in like we're doing here. But the disadvantage of the floor trusses is really a height issue. You end up with a 2-foot deep floor system in most cases instead of 1 foot like this, making the entire structure taller. And sometimes I don't think that looks as good to be that much higher out of the ground. We chose to use a solid piece of 2x12 here to form the little wall for our chase instead of using scraps and building a little wall, just because it's faster and it may be a little more expensive, but time is money. Next, we added a 2x2 nailer to the wall flush with the bottom of our 2x12 and fastened it. And finally, we ripped up some scrap pieces of zip board to cover the bottom, and they'll be able to attach the drywall directly to the bottom of this and be able to screw anywhere, which will be pretty nice. One note is that we usually run soffits like this the entire width of the room, even if it only needs to be a portion, because that usually looks better and more intentional. The reason we're putting plywood on the bottom is so that we don't crunch the ducts up any higher. And we're just tacking it in case the plumber wants to run a gas line through there. He can just pop these down real easy.
Hey Jay, we need to put a nailer up right across there.
Okay.
Hey, I'd put one more screw in that, Jamie. Right there.
yeah, one more.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 already.
You get enough screws in that thing? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple more. I think would be nice. Why are you out of breath, man?
Why are you out of breath?
Been sleeping. Number 3.
Wait, you went sweeping. Well, I rode 25 miles this and you can't sweep without being out of breath.
Okay, number 3. We need to build a knee wall to close in the bottom of this landing, but we need to have an access door in it because there's a clean out right there. So we have to be able to get to that later. So knee wall, access door.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to build a knee wall over here with an access door. That's number 3.
Of course, the bottom plate for this knee wall has to be made out of pressure-treated wood since it will contact the slab, which is made out of concrete, which can hold moisture. And I think this was the last piece of pressure-treated wood on the job. That's why I had to rip it, and it's got a notch out of it. Next, I cut a top plate to length, and then I trace the layout from the bottom plate to the top plate so everything is plumb when we put it in. And I made this door bigger than it needs to be just because there is a lot of space under here, and it could also be used as storage as well as just an access. I also had to add some drywall nailers here on the opposing two walls so that the drywall has something to nail on where it terminates into this new wall.
Construction, fact or fiction? What's our topic today?
Our topic today is, do you know why that these pencils are not round, why they're flat?
I do not.
Okay, so my theory, I saw it on TikTok, but my theory is this. If it was round, you would...
Oh, so it's safety.
Safety.
Safety thing.
So you can step on it without it rolling.
Okay. Fact or fiction? Let us know what you think. I don't know.
Number 4 already, still not lunchtime. We need a stud on either side of this tub at the front edge to break our backer board and drywall. We need blocking for a towel hook here, and probably blocking for a towel bar over here.
Hey, what about your toilet paper blocking? So the toilet paper holder over there?
For the sake of not showing the same thing over and over again, we're just going to show you this one bathroom, but we do the same treatment for all of the bathrooms throughout the house, making sure that there's solid blocking anywhere you need to mount anything to the wall or on any breaks or transitions between drywall and hardy backer that goes behind our tile. Number 5, we're going to do handrail blocking for the handrail brackets in the stairwell. And we got a little trick here how to measure these pieces quickly and easily without measuring them. So
Measure without measuring?
yeah, so I'm gonna hold this thing up at the angle.
Just hold it flush with the top.
Flush with the top.
We can
Yep.
extrapolate the rest.
Okay, and Jamie's gonna mark them.
There we go. It's a pretty remarkable way to do this, I think.
And hey, Jamie, label them.
Oh, yeah. That's important. 1. We got B.
What?
And then we got
Roman numeral 3.
Square. Yeah, 3. Yeah, square. All right, good.
Okay, this one may seem a little overkill, but the reason we're doing it is because we've built houses before where we didn't have blocking behind somewhere we ended up needing a handrail bracket. And a handrail bracket would just rip straight out of drywall with any kind of drywall anchor. You need solid blocking behind it for it to work right.
It is super important that these pieces of blocking for the handrail brackets are perfectly flush with the framing, not recessed at all, because what'll happen is you'll suck your handrail bracket in tight with those big screws they come with, and it'll actually crush the drywall and make nail pops on your studs where your drywall is nailed.
Number 6. There's still more stuff?
Yeah, a lot more.
Oh no. Well, this is number 6. We're gonna fur down the ceiling up here. So we've got this funny kind of spot here where the drywall's gonna do something weird. So we're just gonna fur the whole ceiling down to this surface and make it better for drywall.
I think I'm gonna defer this one to you.
Okay. Now, if you're very observant, you might be wondering why we just didn't frame this entire landing out of 2x12 to start with. And the reason is it's expensive, and we ended up being able to frame down this ceiling with the rest of that pallet I tore apart in the last video. So I think on the overall, we did save a bit of money on material. I can tell you want to save something. What is it?
Well, there's no like by the book way to do a lot of things in carpentry. So you just got to figure out stuff. And this is one of those things where it's like, ooh, what am I going to do? And actually, I just realized what I'm going to do is not going to work perfectly right now. So I got to make a notch or something. But I just made this ripped. Basically, this is going to become a continuation of this plane here until it just, comes into the ceiling right there.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to do. But I just realized that is in my way. So I'm going to make a mark and make a notch in my piece right there and take out about whatever that is. And actually, I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to do that and then that. And then I'm going to take my pencil here. And that is what I need to get rid of right there. Then we'll try again.
In one of our previous videos, Jamie gave the advice to think like water and like a roofer when you're doing flashing. So I'll give this second piece of advice. Think like a drywaller while you're framing, and they'll be really happy with you when they show up to do their job.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go down the ramp, Ray.
No, I'm not going down that sketch.
All right, cut. Number 7. We're gonna.
What?
Come on, Rick.
We're on to number 7, and that's to box around this return duct that's in the master closet, and it had nowhere else to go. We're gonna box around it so they can drywall it.
So it's actually pretty common, especially in larger homes, to have dedicated chases for HVAC, returns, and ducts like this. But this house, I made it as compact as possible, using every possible square inch everywhere for usable space. So that's why this ended up here.
Here's our frame, and this is just gonna get drywalled, but we're gonna put a piece of plywood on top so that if someone were to come in here and step on this, trying to reach the ceiling or something, their foot wouldn't go through the drywall, it'd be solid underneath it.
Hey, what number's going home?
Yeah.
Can we get to that number?
We're on right now.
Can we get to that number a little bit
I'm just working
faster?
on this screw right here. It's gonna grab any minute. I'm pretty sure. That screw is like a vacuum. It sucks. Check back in 15.
Really?
How can I make it look this hard?
Are you going into a knot?
No.
Oh my gosh. Number 37. No, it's actually just number 8, isn't it?
Feels like 37.
So number 8, and the final thing for today, because it's getting late, is we're gonna frame for this fireplace that's gonna be here. We need a chase, and it's gonna be in the corner. And I just looked up the specs. It's gonna have a hearth. So we're just gonna start putting it together.
You mean all of us?
Yeah. One really important thing we're gonna do here so that you can access the bottom panel of this fireplace once it's installed is build the platform for the fireplace 2 inches higher than the hearth so that when you apply like 2 inches of stone to the hearth, it's not like up over the top edge of the bottom of the fireplace.
A couple of notes here is that when we size the firebox for a corner fireplace like this, try to size it so that you end up with about a foot of stonework minimum on each side of the firebox, and that's what I think looks good. In this case, we ended up being able to use a 36-inch firebox with a foot of stonework on each side, and we're using a direct vent propane fireplace that will vent out of the wall with a 4 or 6-inch size pipe. Our second step here was to cover our fireplace platform and the hearth platform with some solid sheathing. We were able to use scraps here as well. Next, just like building any wall after the fact, we added a top plate and a bottom plate, and we'll plumb in studs between them. The only caveat here is that our top plate is running across a 45-degree angled ceiling at a 45-degree angle, and those angles aren't linear. The angle and bevel cuts on the top of these studs ended up being 35 degrees, and we simply found that by guessing and checking.
Hey, pull that ladder out. I'm gonna do a beauty shot.
Is that still rolling?
No, it's cut.
Beauty shot.
Back off.
I'm doing the beauty shot. So I was just gonna show you
What am I
guys
doing?
my technique. You gotta sneak up on it.
All right, I'm going home.
All right, you ready?
And that's how you do it, folks. One thing we did not get to here today was doing the blocking for our kitchen cabinets so that we have solid blocking anywhere we want to attach those to the wall. We'll get to that another day.
All right, number 9, let's go home. Thanks for building with us. Hopefully Ray won't come again tomorrow because he was telling me how to do everything. Was he doing that to you?
Yeah, dude, I was getting over it. I was like, okay, guy, if you point that freaking crutch at me one more time, I'm gonna break your other leg.
See you.
Hey, there's some screws missing over here, man.
All right, I'll get him.
You're gonna put tap cons in this, right?
I got it, bud. I got it.
I'm just checking. Just checking.
You know, the dirtiest your house is ever going to be is while you're getting it built.
What do you
My house is that dirty commonly with Rick, actually. Want to know?